that there's no such thing as a stupid question. Unless we're the ones asking it. From game highlights, to hot takes, to totally unqualified opinions. We're bringing the BS Booster Style!
Now you got to be the wearing sunglasses in stores.
That's
podcaster.
Me. Welcome to episode number 141 of the BEBC
BS
Podcast.
Coming to you from the Far East.
Far East.
That's
That's us in the Far East.
We have cake balls. Come on.
Cake balls. Where did the cake balls come from?
They came from Karen. She lovingly manufactured those.
She made those?
Yeah.
Wow.
They look really good.
It's for the
I've
annual
been told
fair.
I have cake balls.
The what? Man.
You just can't keep a straight face, can you? All right. In shocking news.
I don't know whether to apologize or start this
Check
whole
your
thing
doctor
over
from
after
last
that.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
I didn't fart in the stands last
We are
night.
so sorry.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did not.
My face was melting.
If I did it, I'd claim it.
It wasn't me. Somebody else farted.
As you're
Especially if you smelt it, I would have definitely
The
claimed
look
it.
on Jacqueline's
The water
face
was cold.
priceless. He was,
Well, it didn't come from me. The wind was blowing the other direction.
It was probably Katie.
that was up there.
Now.
And there was a girl sitting, not in the seat, but on the concrete,
Yeah.
the floor,
Man.
right behind him too, doing some knitting. I didn't even want to look at her.
Have you ever thought that it may have been her that
No,
did it?
I don't think so.
Because I didn't do it. If I had done it, I would have looked back to get your reaction.
According to my wife, women don't fart.
They
For our female listeners,
They foof.
however many there are, please answer that in the comment section below.
Yes, I want to know what y'all call it.
There you go.
Or is it just like you sign an NDA and it's...
As you can see, this is what our conversations have been since 7:20 this morning at breakfast. So,
Yeah, so when your wife comes out, what are y'all talking about?
yeah,
Nothing.
nothing. We are talking about nothing.
Trust us.
Farts.
Except a
How'd the podcast go? Huh? Good.
56-0 Allen victory
Such an exciting game.
over the Plano
It
Wildcats.
had its moments, though.
Yay! The 141st game in the history of Allen Eagle football in 1974. Last week they lost to White Wright, called 0-2 on the season.
Stinking white, right?
They tussled with Van Alstyne in the following week.
Stinking Van Alstyne.
Isn't it amazing how Allen has grown? And now Van Alstyne's starting to, but
Yeah.
if you really think about it, Van Alstyne probably isn't much different, say, 5 years ago than it was in
Yeah.
1974.
Well, all these other, all the other new towns, they're growing so fast that they just go through that 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A.
Well, that's
all the way
what
up to 6A.
Corey Kane's kids play now.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah, Van Alstyne.
So Van Alstyne was on the schedule, third game of the year in 1974, and Allen proceeded to do what they did last night and pitch a shutout and beat Van Alstyne 35-0. So congratulations to the 1974 team. The 141st victory in the history of Allen Eagle football, 1986. Last week they gained their fifth victory of the year over Gainesville with a shutout. 17-0.
Nice. Way to go, Allen.
Following week, they played the Colony and proceeded to throw another shutout. It's shutout weekend, folks. 30-0 to go to
Wow.
6-2 on the year.
Pretty impressive.
Pretty
Entering
impressive.
Fox and Jacobs red zone.
This says Louisville, the Colony. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is.
it's in
That's where it's at.
Louisville. 30-0. So there you go. Caught up on the history of Allen Eagle football. Another historic moment last night.
Scintillating.
We may have seen, and I don't know who. It's so hard to get records out of anybody. I don't know who keeps them
Historical,
all.
yeah.
We may have seen the longest touchdown pass in the history of Allen Eagle football last night.
94 yards?
94 yards.
Way to go,
J.D.
way to go,
Dow
Carter.
to Carter Harris.
Man.
And Carter had to use those long
every
arms of
every
his
inch, yeah.
to
Fingertips.
grab it.
So it's fun to see history as it unfolds like that.
And boy, have you guys seen a lot of it.
Yeah. Says the young buck in the group. He just couldn't help it. You know, it's amazing because if you think about it, we have seen every state championship.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've seen every undefeated season.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're living in the right time, fellas.
We've seen our season end 4 times against South Lake.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Seems like forever ago. We got beat by Rowlett once.
When Nathan went down at
That was disturbing.
Cowboy Stadium.
That was very disturbing.
A 5-5 Rowlett.
Well, we had a 56-0 game. And I sent y'all a text earlier in the week, and we'll get to these after we talk to Coach Wig. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, I wanted each of us to talk about, to throw out, is one thing that you've been really happy with as far as this team goes, and then one thing that you would like to see them improve on as we roll through the rest of the year. Yeah, I guess we start again with the defense.
Yeah, that's a side of the ball that needs improvement.
I get that's not
I think if we all picked one topic, the defense would be the area where I think we're really happy
Well, we'll
with
see.
the way they're going.
We'll see as that's coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a little conversation with Coach Hargis this morning. You know, because I texted him yesterday and said, you know what? I just said, looking forward to more great defenses tonight. Very impressed with your dudes so far this year. He goes, special group, every call works. So I was like,
And there are coaches that can't say that in the past.
Oh, no.
no, you're right. So it's like he's praising the kids, and then it's like, is he patting himself on the back? Isn't every call works? You know, so good for them. And you know what? Fine if you are, because you deserve it.
What's great is watching him cut everybody loose,
Yeah.
and the whole defense is in the backfield except for the few backs.
One thing I'm watching, because I'm Mr. Stat guy and I like to see numbers, they have now outscored their opponents 210-27 through 4 games. Okay,
It's impressive.
the least amount of points, at least from what I've been able to gather, that they've given up in the last almost 60 years has been in a season has been 49 points.
That's impressive.
So you look at that and go, You look at the schedule and who's left. When I go and look and say, okay, who can they possibly not score against them? I would say next week McKinney.
Now, are we talking regular season or fall?
Yeah, regular season. Don't worry about playoffs.
West.
Plano West,
Well,
McKinney Boyd,
Plano East.
and poor Plano East.
Yeah, who fell
Where the
victim.
hell
Sorry,
did
Diggs.
Plano West come from all of a sudden?
Plano West, for those of you who don't know, is now 3-0 on the year, 2-0 in district. So,
Yeah, but who they played?
hey,
It's
Plano
the district.
West.
Look
Doesn't
who
matter.
we played.
They
You
scored
know, maybe they had more than 15 fans. during this year,
42
too.
points last night. And I had Cody look up on the way to breakfast this morning. I said, when was the last time Plano West scored 42 points in a
Trust me, from
in a game?
I
Anybody
saw-
have an idea?
I saw more than one game last year, and to hear that they can score that many points this season is just amazing.
Where
Was
it
it
was,
with-
it was a playoff. Where did we go? Out of town, and we played right behind them.
They were playing
It
East
wasn't that
Texas.
far
It was
ago.
Lufkin.
Lufkin.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
No, but that was a special game.
It was.
They got lucky.
It was actually in October of 2021,
Okay.
and they scored. So it's been 4 years since that team has scored 42 points.
Who was that against?
You remember?
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that team.
Yeah. So it's been 4 years since Plano West has scored. So congrats to the West Siders over there for looking like the cream of the crop of the
That's
Plano schools at this moment.
It's the same head coach over there as it was last year, right? I mean, I don't know.
No idea. No idea.
I don't have any connection
Was
with
it a
it
year?
now anymore.
Was 2021 with what's his name?
No,
Yeah.
Soso? No, he was back in the Kyler years.
Yeah.
that was Kyle.
Yeah, they graduated the
No.
same time.
So going around the district last night, Prosper took care of McKinney Boyd 68-31. You know, Prosper's like, here, Allen, hold my beer. We can score 70
really.
as well.
Yeah, again, it was McKinney Boyd.
Well, you know, we scored 70 against
I know.
Yeah.
Rock Hill. Speaking of Rock Hill, they gave Princeton a pretty good tussle.
Yeah.
And ended up losing
41-34.
Was that in Princeton or Prosper?
I don't know, but that was interesting to me because I took a screenshot of the stats on that game.
Yeah.
Now remember, we played Rock Hill last week and gave up 14 points, 160 yards.
7 of those was legit.
Yeah, one score was earned, but it was a blind squirrel
Yeah.
thing. He scrambled and
Yeah, Rock Hill last night had 551 yards of offense.
wow.
Whoa.
320 yards passing, 231 yards rushing. But here's what killed them. As soon as this thing was back here. 16 penalties for 138 yards and 4 turnovers. And they lose by 7.
Wow.
I think this game got chippy because Princeton had 12 penalties.
Yeah, it got
I think they're utilizing that New York Giants playbook.
That could be. That could be. So you look at that and go, Princeton gave up 551 yards.
Yeah.
They got 4 turnovers, and they won by 7. So, you know, is Princeton, I think everybody's been kind of watching Princeton out of the corner of their eye because they're scoring a lot of points, and they're undefeated at, 4-0, and they're, a couple of weeks away down the pike here. But I don't know, you look at that, and I think the difference between this Allen team and everybody else in the district, including Prosper, because if you look at Prosper scores, it's all about defense. Prosper gave up 31 to Boyd, and it's night and day between Allen and the rest of this.
When Prosper's got the
Put
passing,
your phone down and pay attention.
yeah, Prosper's got the passing attack that's going to give our defense a little bit of a test there. I think we'll be okay. They may get off 1 or 2, really good big long pass plays, but
I don't know about that.
It's going to depend on how their offensive line holds up.
Yeah,
that's
a
very
great
true.
offensive line.
I mean, I got to say, you brought up some long pass. Our secondary hasn't looked this good since, in my opinion, 13.
They're definitely getting better.
I mean, they're finding the ball. They're not just doing one of these things. They're finding the ball, and
I love the sound effect.
it adds to it.
Good
we're going to have to capture that sound effect
And
put it
they're
in a
staying toe to toe with everybody that they're up against.
Yeah.
And they're bigger, and they're laying some lead. When they hit somebody, it's fun to watch.
It is.
So as the district stands through today, you've got Allen, Prosper, Plano West, and Princeton all at 2-0.
Yep.
I think it would have been amazing if somebody in their wisdom had predicted at this point that Plano West and Princeton would both be 2-0 in district.
And vying for the district championship.
Maybe that new guy from Dallas Morning News will put Princeton as one of the top teams
I don't
in
get that
the
at all.
state.
Yeah. Plano's at 2-1 in district. McKinney's at 1-2. I'm sorry. I had that backwards. Plano's 1-1. McKinney's 0-1, and then Boyd, Rock Hill, and Plano East are all at 0-2.
Sad.
And I tell you what, that Plano East, I've already decided when we get to the Plano East game, no matter what their record is, we're going to have a call with Professor Diggs, and he can tell us everything that's gone wrong over on the east side of Plano this year, because no one saw 0-4 coming.
We'll let him describe it in full detail, and with the assurance that none of the Plano East fans listen to our podcast,
Exactly.
so they're good.
Except for him.
Yeah.
So next week, you have McKinney coming to Allen. I'm just going to say
it's going to be a whooping.
Yay!
it's going to be just like this week, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Because I watched that part of that McKinney-Plano game, and Plano actually beat McKinney. McKinney doesn't have much either. Plano rolls up to Princeton. Plano East goes to Prosper. That'd be an upset if that could happen. Wouldn't that be something? And then
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah,
That could be a good game.
Here's a game that I think might be pretty good based upon what Rock Hill did last night. Is Rock Hill at Plano West.
Ooh, yeah.
So McKinney Boyd has next week off.
I had them backwards. Sorry.
Yeah. So Rock Hill goes over to probably Clark to play Plano West. So that could be an interesting game. So you probably, just looking at this, won't see much change in the top 4 in the district. I think all of them will be favored to win. We'll see how Plano West holds up against Rock Hill.
We'll see how that Plano defense, which is one of the tops in the area, does against.
Bless that guy. For those of you who don't know what you're talking about, if you get the Dallas Morning News or if you read it online, their picker this week, who does the write-up of all the games, said the Allen-Plano game was a matchup between two of the top defenses in the
historical powers
in the area. And I kind of giggled.
Guy obviously doesn't have a clue.
He is new, and he hasn't, you know.
It's a lot to
He's
absorb.
probably graduated from Prosper.
Wow. David throwing shots at Prosper.
Either that or he's from East Texas.
One of the two.
No.
And he predicted a 35-21 game, and I kind of just giggled at Plano scoring 21 points on Allen.
Not on this defense, for sure.
So that's a total of 56. Yeah, Allen did that.
Yeah, he was close. He got the total right.
They got
He
the
did.
total right.
He did.
Well, and are we talking about our game yet?
We're about
No.
to. You ready to talk about the game?
Well, I was just so impressed. Plano had 12 series, offensive series. They punted 9 times, 1 turnover on downs and 2 interceptions. That is a stellar performance by our defense.
Yeah, it is. When you look at the stats, 2 first downs.
Well, and how many 3 and outs? Ton.
Well, you said they punted 9 times.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. 1 first down.
Well, they had 2.
I know, but it was 1 first down.
1 first down on the first team defense. They got 1 in the fourth quarter late.
Yeah.
They ran 43 plays, 80 total yards.
When we were going over looking at the stats after that big run, and we started pulling up the box scores because Dallas Morning News
minus.
and it's like you see one kid that's got positive yards, and there's like 4 or 5 of them negative.
How did that end up being?
It ends up being the quarterback mainly was the negative yardage.
Well,
Well, he's the one that, yeah.
He's the cat. He's in charge, man. He's
Well,
doing
Well,
the
we
thing.
almost got their starting running back, the one that broke it, back down to
negative yard. Well,
Yeah.
negative below the 64.
yeah.
They ran 43 plays, total 80 yards. They had 1 play for 64, so they ran 42 plays that netted them 16 yards.
Yep.
Efficiency.
You can win a lot of football games
Yeah.
when your defense does
It's like
that.
sub 2 yards per carry.
In the first half, they ran 26 offensive plays. 16 were for no gain or losses.
Negatives, yeah.
And so Chance Cully was the running back who broke off the 64-yarder.
Yeah.
He ended up with 12 carries for 71 yards, so do the math. So he had 11 carries for 7 yards after that one run. You're not very efficient when you can't
No.
run the ball. Oh, and they couldn't pass it. They were 2 of 11 passing for 21 yards.
Yeah.
2 of 12 passing, like you said, with the 2 picks, 1 being a pick 6.
And how many blocks from the defensive line
Oh my gosh, yeah.
did we have?
We thought it was a volleyball
3
game
or
that
so.
broke out.
Yeah, it was one of the things that Hargis said this morning too. He goes, the guys got one thing on their mind, being the best in the state. And
They're on that road right
he
now.
goes, the
Leading the pack.
starters are really locked in, and we've got several more than the 11 that are really playing at a high level.
Nice.
And the other thing he said, which I think is true, and we haven't talked about this too much, was this is his 3rd year being the coordinator here. And so the continuity and the consistency of what kids coming up through middle school now are
Yeah.
being taught
Well,
is really,
paying off.
one, he's got a good scheme. Whatever it is, and if, he may change it depending on his personnel. I don't know. We haven't really asked him that question. We might do that next week when we see him.
Mm-hmm.
Say, have you changed?
Well, he has mentioned to us that his scheme does change.
Well,
Based on the-
game to game, but is his base the same? Has he changed it based? He hadn't gone to a 3-4 from a 4-3, but now he'll flip into that.
He'll flip into that.
Yeah, how much of a self-driving car does he have there?
Well, and that's the thing that,
Let 'em
I
go
think
and-
is genius, because and we all know it. All teams have their coaches at games, scouting for their game coming up, and it's like, how do you scout against it? Because it changes and
Yeah, when everything works.
Well, speaking of scouting, I will clap my hands to the Plano coaching staff for scouting Allen enough to know not to punt to Caleb Smith.
Yeah.
that was the only thing they did right.
They directional punted all night last night.
Right. Out of bounds. Sometimes it was a little shorter than others.
Yeah.
But still very effective.
They kept the ball. I think he had maybe two returns.
He had, two.
One that he fumbled, he picked up one hand, freaked me out. I was like, oh, dude.
Oh,
Dude, and he got
Heart
positive
attack.
yards out of that deal.
Caleb, come on, brother, you're scaring me here. But you talk about scouting. They did their homework. They weren't going to give up. 2 punt returns for touchdowns like happened the week before. So, 80 total yards for the Plano Wildcats, 521. And I wanted to say this because I want to kind of ask Wig in some way that doesn't offend him. And I mean it sincerely. This to me wasn't, of all the 4 games they've played, they won 56-0, but it wasn't their
Best game.
Thank you. It just
Yeah, it
wasn't crisp.
No,
Well,
and that's a good way of putting it. It
when
wasn't
we
crisp.
when we get into the areas to improve, we got stuff to discuss.
Yeah, and I hope it doesn't offend him because you won 56-0, but as he should, because I kind of looked at it as a coach this week and said, okay, there's a lot of coaching moments in this game that you didn't have in previous games, such as you get a delay a game on a kickoff.
Really.
You start subbing players when there's 11 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your quarterbacks were nowhere near as efficient as they have been. You run the Wildcat for the first time and you get a false start. There's all these things that just you didn't see
On 4th down.
Well,
Yeah,
and you and I were talking about Josiah's frustration because he had that long pass that he couldn't quite get a handle on in the end zone, and he was so frustrated, came off the sidelines.
It was overthrown.
But he had hands on it.
Yeah.
So he was frustrated, and
He had to go horizontal to get it.
Coach Kane stops him, coaches him up, seems like he really collected himself. He was still jazzed up, and he was still like, okay, let's go. I'm in it.
in the next series. What do
Is
they
that
do?
what he said, though?
I think so. Let's play the video.
Let's hear the audio. But the next series they went right back to him.
Oh yeah,
And he was
well, that seems to be I guess a common theme because they keep going back to people. It's like, get back up on the horse, let's go.
yeah.
Don't have time to sulk and worry.
Even though they weren't as crisp as we expect Allen to be, you had the luxury of it not burning them.
Yeah.
Because of who we were playing, and if we play like that against a team like Prosper,
Right.
I mean,
We're going to get burned worse.
well, I mean,
Sure.
it'll hurt us more than likely. I don't know. Again, I'm not too concerned about Prosper. I think we'll be fine against them, but
Yeah.
we definitely have to be crisper, and we just can't have the mistakes that you saw,
Yeah.
and you can't have the number of overthrown passes that we saw last night and so forth. So,
9-14.
yeah.
Well, and blocking. I mean, with the underclassmen O-line that we're dealing with, and with some of the receivers not being able to block
It wasn't a bad
well.
game. It wasn't a perfect game, but it wasn't a bad game.
Yeah, they
I
were
mean,
having
we
a
had
hard
a kid
time
that
with the
ran
runs
100
up the middle and all that stuff.
It's again. It wasn't. There's a lot of.
It wasn't
coachable
perfection.
moments.
Yeah.
Our running backs had to find the hole that they were supposed to go through when we saw a lot of plays.
There was a lot of 180s.
Yeah, well, they
rotating
would go
and
here and
bouncing
they're
out.
like, okay, that closed up. I'm
We
going
bounce out.
that way.
We got to
Yeah.
realize this is high school, not college.
Yeah,
and pros.
absolutely.
Well, but I can see.
They're going to get better because our coaching
Damn
staff
it, we're
is
a
good.
college team.
Two ringy dingies.
Hello.
Hello, Coach.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing really well.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You about to board a plane?
I'm hoping to.
Yeah, well, at some point we'll have enough money we can get you a private ride, so we'll see about that.
Yeah.
That would be nice, though.
We're not.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Well, you could be not for profit and have a plane. Well, congrats on another district win.
Thank you.
Another shutout.
Yeah.
We've been talking this morning about a lot of different things, and I told the guys a minute ago, I said, I want to ask Coach a question without making him mad, but I don't know how to say it. And so if I make you mad, please don't hang up.
Just call a stupid question.
Right. You got it.
Well, of the 4 games this year, you win 56-0, but to me, this was the most, from our perspective, or at least my perspective, the most game in which you had a lot of, I'm going to call them coachable moments.
Yeah. I don't know if more, but there's certainly, there's been a ton in all 3 of the games. You know, I think that there certainly were, I think in all 3 phases, a bunch of those. But, you know, I think that was probably the, and again, not to be disrespectful to them, offensively they're going to struggle this year. I think they, you know, they're going to struggle moving the ball consistently against people. I think.
Yep.
Defensively, you know, they're going to be in the mix for a playoff spot because they're going to play good enough defense to, you know, they're going to be in a lot of low scoring games like they had been coming into this one. You know, so offensively there was a couple of false starts, which, you know, is not uncommon early in the year. What is uncommon is we've gone through 4 games and hadn't had any, which is incredibly uncommon, I guess. But those were frustrating. You know, that, you know, a couple of them put you in situations where you're going to go for it and then bumping into a punt after that. You know, they up front they you know, did some things that, you know, just basically just defeated some blocks at times, and things that, you know, we'll improve on, and guys are still competing and trying to figure things out, but you know, missed a couple blocks here or there, you know, dropped a couple of passes that would have been really good catches, but dropped a couple of those, you know, overthrew 1 or 2 that would have been big by, you know, a foot, which, you know, is frustrating that you don't get it, but also incredibly understandable. You're like, you know, it's hard to be perfect, but that's what we prepare for, and that's what we expect. So anyway, yeah, there's you know, special team. We still gave up a couple of returns that were very disappointing. But you know, again, yes, nitpicking and those things, I'm incredibly proud of them. You know, you play a team again that's undefeated in district play. I mean, you see it every day at every level that it's just hard to win football games, and for the kids to go out and win the way they did. Yeah, my hat's off to them.
But I think one of the things that we especially, and we've been, you know, saying about it all year long, is this defense, and just another remarkable performance in so many ways by anybody you put out there.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. You know, and again, we certainly had hoped and planned that our defense was going to play the way they were playing. You know, we have pretty much everyone back at every meaningful position that was there last year, and had high hopes for that unit, and they're certainly not disappointing. Again, we know that we will the offenses we're facing will get better by the week, and that's good because we will continue to get better defensively too. So, but again, you know, anytime, you know, I think that's our our first shutout. So anytime you get a shutout, you know, that's always really good. That means a whole lot of people contributed in a lot of different ways. Fired up about that.
One of the guys that we saw, especially early in the game, that flashed was, and we haven't talked about him much this year, but is Beckham Parker. He seemed to be living in the backfield.
Yeah, he was. It was his best game. He's a guy, you know, that played linebacker when he was younger in his playing days, and converted to D-line this year as a chance to get in on the field. And he's really, really active and tough, physical, and it was awesome to see him do that. It's not shocking because he plays that way every single day in practice. But it was good to see him make plays in the backfield.
Yeah, and make multiple plays. We were really impressed with him also. So
Yeah.
good to see.
He's a tough kid. Really, really, really tough kid.
Well, that's what's encouraging to all of us. I think there's at least 4 or 5 kids that kind of surprise us and catch us off guard, and it's like, wow, where did he come from? And
Yeah.
you've added a little color to his history there, so that's nice to know.
Yeah.
As far as the quarterback rotation goes, it seems like that we had a little more of JD last night than we had in the first 3 days. Was that by design?
No, it's just no. Just some drives went longer than others, but no, they were. The play count ended up, a little more skewed than we would have designed, but it was not. It was not because of the way one was playing or anything like that, or it was just the flow of the game and the length of drives that they were in.
Coach, how do we start getting teams to punt to us again?
Yeah. Well, we didn't do a great job of reading it off his foot last night and getting to the ball. They left a couple on the field that we should have been able to get to, but they'll, people will, and you should. I think directional punts what you should do anyway. I don't think you should ever punt in the middle of the field, but we just got to make sure we can get to it and give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, they obviously watched tape with the Rock Hill game for sure. Without a doubt.
Well, and then Plano, having 9 punts this game, they seem to have had a lot of practice. So,
well, next week you get McKinney at home, back to the confines of home, and so another district game, and then you get a week off. So it's you've been fortunate that everybody stayed pretty healthy.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a anytime you're playing, in our league, you're going to try to rotate bodies in and keep guys fresh just to create depth, but also for just planning for the worst, right? Just always want to be prepared for that. We've been pretty fortunate this year with that, with the injury bug, and really you get to, like you said, 1 week prior to the open week where we are. I really like that position, but what I like even more than that is the ability that we've had a lot of guys rotate in meaningful situations, in first half, and just getting that depth created.
It's good to have. All right, you went 3-2 last week. You're still 1 game behind the leader. Your heart-picking Tennessee killed you last week, but
And my hogs almost made you look bad too, by the way.
Yeah, blah blah blah.
No, that was going to be yeah, that's true. I didn't pick them, did I?
We were driving for the win.
All right, here we go. We're gonna. It's actually a better slate of games this week. So, but they're tough. They're tough.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, Auburn at OU.
Really cool game because of the quarterback situation.
Yep, Arnold going back.
Man. I'm gonna go. OU.
Okay. Florida travels to Coral Gables to take on Miami.
I will take Miami.
Yeah. All right. Here's one I picked out just because it's 2 ranked teams, and it's one of these made the playoff last year. Illinois at Indiana.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to go with the one that did. I'm going to take Illinois.
Okay.
bold choice.
All right, here we go. I don't even know I'm asking this, but Texas Tech at Utah.
Yeah, wreck 'em. Texas Tech.
Yeah. Go Raiders.
I won't tell you which one of your coaches who's in this pool with us picked against you, but maybe you can figure it out. And then the last one's another interesting game, at least to me, I think. Michigan goes to Nebraska.
Yeah, man, that one's I'm going to have to go against my heart because I love me some Matt Rule, but I will take Michigan.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah.
Surprised by that.
Yep.
All right, Coach.
Corn shucking in that game.
As always, we appreciate your time.
Well,
Have a safe flight.
appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. We'll see you next Friday.
Okay, we'll see you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Coach.
Take care, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, all right. Goodbye.
Seems like he's a little preoccupied.
Well, it's hard to concentrate.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in that
What?
situation.
Yeah.
That was a
All these
Kinda-
people,
little
all these people
sensitive
sitting
question
around
on the
him.
quarterback there. Way to go.
that one, and then the other one where he cricket.
He's got to be Switzerland.
He's got to be Switzerland. We've got to be Switzerland.
No, we don't.
Well, I
Well,
choose to be.
Yeah. Sort of. More.
I want to keep
less
having
so.
a call with him.
Oh, with
Exactly.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can.
Yeah.
We
Now
can
we
talk
can say
bad
whatever
about
we
other
want,
teams
yeah.
and stuff all we want, but yeah, we just have to deal with their fans,
Basically,
and sometimes
we-
they're the wives.
we know we've been doing this long enough where you can read between the lines.
Start of the game, Allen gets the ball. He talked about a false start penalty. They get 4th and 1 at their own 38.
Wildcat.
They go to the Wildcat with Hambrick, and they get a false start. And they called it on Jet, but Jet was in motion, so I don't know how
As a
you...
lineman.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a lineman that...
It was.
And so they end up punting. So
Stinking
we get
underclassmen.
one of our few observations and sightings of Mr. Ethan Nava, who kicks a 44-yard punt.
He had a great.
We'll get to that one.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Sorry.
Be patient. Oh, bless their hearts. Plano gets the ball at their own 23. They have a 2-yard rush, an incomplete pass, and then they try to go deep.
Throw an interception.
Trey Roberson.
Good catch, though.
0. It always confuses me to see 0 on the field. In fact, it took me minutes. Who
Yeah.
is that? I forgot.
Yeah.
Trey's wearing 0 this year. He intercepts it. Allen goes one play. They get a 1-yard pass to the tight end. They try to run a little tight end screen. It went 1 yard. And on the next play, Lyndon Spriggs
Yeah.
goes 62 yards for a touchdown. Which
Beautiful
was
play.
good to see finally the run game pick it up a little bit. And we can stop right here and talk about this. I think it needs to be talked about. When we talk about that offensive line, and I'm kind of getting into my one thing I want to see better, but the offensive line has to play better in the run game. Has to.
Yeah.
I don't see a big push. Like you say, the running back gets the ball, and then it's like,
And he's the one pushing the lineman down the field.
well, that and trying to find a place to go.
Right.
Yeah, it seemed like, last night we were seeing, and we were kind of frustrated, in fact, thinking it was a slow developing play, but the reality of it is that his hole that he was supposed to go through
closed.
basically was not there, and to his defense, he was able to find something real quick and close, and which tells me he's got great vision and so forth, and he'd make pretty much positive. I don't recall. I mean, yeah, there was a couple bad plays, but the running backs last night typically were getting positive yards when they were
When they
grabbing
had a chance
when
to
they
bounce
had
it
a
out,
chance-
they
yeah.
did it. They did it.
And what was the other observation? We didn't go wide very often at all, if at all.
With the run
on
game?
Sweep. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, we didn't do
I mean,
any
we
kind of
just
sweep plays
right
or
into the
anything
line.
like that. Yeah.
And we were running a lot of RPOs
Yep.
last night, which is going to be a slower developing run play because you got to read
Yep.
the wide receiver.
Decide
We had
if
some
you're
really
gonna
good
hand off,
gains
yeah.
off of those. I think we were also running some draws, which was maybe
Some of those plays
An opportunity
were so long,
to-
I could have cooked a lasagna.
okay, Garfield. But with the draw is trying to give the offensive line an opportunity to get something going and not just have to drive your man off the snap.
Yeah, it just seems to me that really needs to improve. Now, I will go back and say, and we said it last week, they're missing 2 starters off that offensive line. 2 senior starters.
Yeah.
And we have no idea at this point. We weren't able to talk to our source this past week, so we don't know when they're coming back.
Oh, yeah, what the situation is.
We'll find out this week. But
it's an opportunity.
It is, but it's a struggle because, Hambrick averaged 3.5 yards last night. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that was Jaden saying, "Get off me" to a lot of people.
Oh gosh,
he's one of the hardest runners we've ever had come through.
and he knows how to power that offhand to smash him into the ground.
But and I'd have to go back and look at last year. But Jaden should be averaging 6 or 7 yards a carry.
Yeah,
and a lot of it is because he's having to work so hard.
In the line.
Getting
through the line.
Now, Spriggs did have 131 yards last night. Again, half of those came on one run. So he had 15 carries for 70 yards outside of his one long run. Yeah. So, again, it's a grind, which we're not used to. It's more of 7 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards.
Big 10 football.
15 yards.
But as long as they can keep converting, when it gets third or fourth down, it's all right.
It just seemed... To me, this game took in my mind, it was just taking forever to get going, and it's just like it was such a grind. And so, because of the errant passes, because the quarterbacks weren't as efficient, a lot of things were going on. But Spriggs did get the 72-yard touchdown. The next series, Plano gets the ball. It's when they have their long run. And we had all predicted our scores before the game, and I predicted my score, and then I said, Plano will not score in the first half. And they got down... to the 12-yard line, and I was like, oh, no, James goes, Mark! But they proceeded to go -1, -9. They got an 18-yard pass to the 4. They went for it on fourth down from the 4-yard line.
Got stuffed.
Got absolutely stuffed. The next play, 94-yard touchdown pass from JD to Carter Harris. So
he had to use all 6'4" of himself.
Of his frame, getting out there.
Get out there. And
got it in stride.
Yep.
Kept his stride going, which allowed him to go score.
Came over.
Almost all over.
Yeah. But 94 yards. Allen goes up 14-0. The next series, Plano gets the ball. They have 5 plays. They go -2 yards, actually 4 plays. And they only have a 15-yard punt. So Allen takes over at Plano's 38. They go 4 plays, 7 yards. They go for it on fourth down. They throw an incomplete pass. And this is where I go, because so far this year, they've converted those fourth downs.
Mm-hmm. And we've gone for a lot of them.
Yeah, you have. And even in your own territory, and this was in Plano territory, and you're like, oh. So you're just like, okay, let's not play with our food tonight.
All right, so what are they saying? When they're not going, when they're going for it on fourth down,
yep.
What are we saying? I mean, it seems like a statement about our defense. We're not scared of anybody else's offense. I mean, that's the main message I'm hearing.
You heard Wiggs say that they're going to struggle to put up a lot of points. And they're going to play a lot of low-scoring games, is what he said.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that was a concern.
Yeah.
Well, in the first 3 series, you'd seen that. They'd thrown an interception, and they went for it on fourth down, and they punted. So,
well, you got to wonder if the coaching staff is looking ahead to some of those playoff games where you get there and you got to convert those fourth downs to stay in the game, which is something the last couple of years we have not done great when we needed to.
That far forward.
Well, but I think they're getting practice in for those scenarios when they roll those kids out.
It won't be a strange situation for them.
You got a good opponent to test those and try those things out. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and he said that last week. Was it last week or the week before? Where he was talking about the onside kicks and all the different kicks they worked on against Rock Hill. He said it was an opportunity for us to do all these different things
in real live action.
Yeah.
Not
in
practice.
a game you're not being tested or
Right.
you know.
So we're saying that Plano was a sparring partner.
And I think,
But they were a top defense.
but I think next week you've got another sparring partner. So it will be interesting to see. I'm gonna look hard at this from my perspective. Does the philosophy change from week to week?
Yeah.
I mean, because again, I didn't see there was no hurry up offense last night.
Right.
It was all very methodical, and so I look this week and say, okay, maybe they speed it up. You know, maybe they try to get to 49 points by halftime. You know, or something like they did against Rock.
Well, and once you get the execution smoother, then you can start speeding things up
Yep.
and push it.
Yep. We have an incomplete pass on 4th down. Plano gets the ball. They go nowhere. Imagine that. And they punt. Allen takes over at their own 41.
Try that 4th down conversion.
Again, 4th and 9 at the 38 and have another incomplete pass. And you're just like, guys, you're killing us.
And then wash, rinse, repeat. Plano does another
Yeah.
3 or 4 and out.
They lose 12 yards on that series.
Whoops.
So that 64 yards is, as we said, we watched it go backwards all night long. They punt with 9:14 left in the second quarter. Eagles go 12 plays. They go 60 yards, and they score on a 15-yard pass to Josiah. From JD to go up 21-0. Plano gets the ball. They go backwards again. They lose 3 yards. They punt again. Allen gets the ball to their own 24. This is when Snell comes in.
Yeah.
And, you know, his first pass is going to be a tunnel screen to Caleb. And as you said at breakfast, there was just
4 of them.
There's quite a few Plano
Bodies,
defenders
yeah,
right there in the backfield.
it felt like the whole Plano bench was over there waiting
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Luckily, he threw the ball to the ground.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but you're like, that's one, do you tuck it and run? As opposed to even throwing it
True.
out there.
True.
So
I mean, maybe that's, I don't know, that'd be interesting
that
to
whole
hear.
series seemed really weird to me. I don't remember the second down, but I remember the third down, and he had a lot of time back there, and he scrambled a little bit, and Jet stopped on his route and was just standing there with the defender, and he threw it. And I mean, nobody was ready for that pass because everybody just kind of quit on the play.
Yeah.
That whole series was really icky. That's when Mr. Ethan Nava comes in and kicks a 49-yard punt, which was a thing of beauty. I mean, spiral.
Oh my God. You and I are both like going, wow.
Look at that.
Against the wind.
Yeah. Plano gets the ball. They go 5 plays, minus 6 yards, 4 yards, yeah. They punt. Allen takes over. Wig used some timeouts at the 47 with 1:38 left. The Deacon gets in and gets a pass completed for 8 yards on first down.
Yay.
This is Ty in there again.
Mm-hmm.
Second down, he completes a 16-yard pass down to the 23 to Josiah. First and 10 at the 23. He scrambles and rushes for 21 yards.
That was a nice rush.
That was
yeah.
a great run.
Knew when to pull it down and take off. He gets
Yep.
down to the 2. Next play, Spriggs scores his second touchdown of the night. Allen goes into halftime 28-0. And you're like, game's over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Well, it felt like a whole game. It wasn't that long time wise, but it felt like it was a complete game. I mean, you're almost like, wow, is it really?
well, you did. You had a long touchdown pass. You had a long touchdown run. You had great defense. You had an interception. You had everything that you typically see in an entire football game.
Yeah.
And Plano gets the ball to start the second half. They punt.
9 plays, minus 1.
They punt, and we get the ball to 35. A long, methodical 65-yard drive. 11 plays, and Allen scores when Hambrick scores from 6 yards out, make it 35.
All they want to talk about is
Is that the end around?
No. Plano goes 4 plays for 3 yards. 3 plays for 3 yards, actually. They punt again down to Allen 4-yard line. Allen only gets 1 first down and has to punt. Ethan's punt this time only goes 32. They take over at the 50.
Best field
Plano
position
gets
all night.
2 yards. And they punt down to the 13. Allen goes 12 plays, 87 yards. It's just like, and this is one where, if y'all remember the pass to Hambrick up the sideline where he just tells everybody to go away.
there you go. That's 2. Oh man.
Well, that was a really good pass. I mean, hitting him, and he's kind of on his side in the end zone to snag the ball, and it just it worked out.
And then Ty hits Jaden Davis for 6 yards for a touchdown. Allen goes up 42-0. Plano goes 3 and out again with another 3 yards lost. It's just lather, rinse, repeat. You know, it's the same old thing. Allen gets the ball, goes 7 plays, 45 yards, scores on a Andre Jackson 5-yard touchdown run.
He got it.
Go for 2.
I'm loving all these guys getting touchdowns.
Yeah, it's
nice.
It's fun. And this is where they put Jackson Logan in at quarterback, number 82.
We're starting to enjoy that.
Yeah, he's quite the character. We
set
talked to him
set
quite a
him
bit.
up really good on that.
Yeah, they've been handing off.
Yeah.
And I said, I think I turned to Cody and said, they need to be doing more of that.
Keeps it bootlegs to the left and makes yardage.
So that might be
Nice.
something that's in the back pocket for later in the season. Andre gets the 5-yard touchdown. They go up 49-0. The next series, Plano changes quarterbacks.
To their detriment.
To their detriment because they throw an out route. Jeremiah Hambrick, number 20.
Way to go, Jeremiah.
Jumps it, takes it 51 yards for the touchdown. To get to the final score of 56-0.
You and I were
0.
Well, we predicted scores, and I predicted 56-7.
Yeah.
Nolan predicted 52-0, so he won the defense. I won the offense, but Thad gave him because he was closer on the total point. So,
Yeah.
congratulations, Wiener. You're the Wiener of the week.
Pig suey.
All right, so let's I went quickly. We got time. Let's go around the table and talk about what you've loved so far and what you want to see this team improve on. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go.
Defense. Love the defense.
Okay.
Love the aggressiveness. Love the involvement of this defense. It's not the same. It changes from game to game. I mean, obviously they've got a great coach that's running that defense. They've got a great staff that's coaching these kids, and you got great kids on that defense that are soaking it in. It's like when Hargis told you that, you know, this is his 3rd year, and the system is resonating in these kids' heads now, and they're understanding it, and they're knowing what their coaches are wanting to see from them on that. And I think, I mean, we've had this mindset that linebackers need to be massive, huge people, and linemen have to be 300 plus. In some high school teams you see that, but they take the best talent out that they have at their disposal, and they coach them. They coach them to their abilities, and that's the thing that I love about it. It's a very fluid scheme that they utilize, and I think when you go about it that way, it's just you can't. And we're seeing the results of it on the field, and in the stats. The improvement, more consistency, crisper offensive schemes. I know it sounds stupid after we've won 2 back-to-back blowout games and so forth, but we talked about it. I mean, last game, if it was as crisp and as smooth as you expect an Allen team to be, that score would have been 80-something to nothing. To be honest with you, way too many overthrows last night. And it's just I have not seen a perfect game yet. And again, I've only been to 2 because I was out of town on vacation.
That's your
Confession
normal,
is good for the soul.
That's your normal season total.
And
Yeah, leave a little meat on the bone for us there, brother.
I've been to every game since 1922. Yeah, pretty much. So it's just it'll happen. It's still the beginning. And
What was it that we were talking about? Oh, the perfect game. I got you. I'm with you.
Just a little more crispness.
Yeah.
On the offensive side, but all in all, I mean, let's be honest, we can't really complain about much on this team. But there's definitely room to improve. But that's it. That's my take.
I don't think there's much to add to what he said about the defense. I mean, the defense is just like lights out.
Yeah.
Comparison.
And it's funny because they'll give up a 15-yard play and we'll be like, "What the heck, guys?"
No, exactly. No, we're
Oh my God, the
spoiled.
sky's falling.
We're spoiled. So I mean, it's rivals, not quite the 2013 team, but I think they could be. I think they, with more and more games, and
that's the team we always go back to.
it is, and that's the standard.
stellar.
That's the standard.
Well, and that team had so many stars.
10 D1 commits.
Yeah.
And they were huge, and they did a great job. Now, is this defense
Talk about
huge?
talk about the
No.
linebackers with Zach
But-
in the middle and
Talent and
Christian Sam on one side, Tay Evans on the other side.
They were.
finesse and talent and strength. Can take over size any day of the week. I think they're only going to get better. I mean, I think I think we're going to be very impressed going into the playoffs, and hopefully they'll keep the edge on going that way.
And with some of the results of typical competition we go against in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a kind of a concern also. We're having all these easy, games right here, and when we get into some competition, we need to be prepared.
But with those perennial powers that are out there and some of the teams that they've lost to and had struggles with, it gives you a little bit more confidence.
It does.
And we'll see. I mean, Propster's going to be the first real test that we've had, with an offense that can actually have a passing game and it's got a little bit of a running game. But what do you think, Cody? Improvements?
Just FYI, by comparison, the 2013 team gave up 181 points through 10 games. So giving up 18
we're on
points
a
a game.
good
Wow.
we're on a good streak.
Yeah.
But that district was a hell of a lot tougher, I thought, if I remember right.
Yeah, their non-district games were. They played Carroll and Cedar Hill. Well, they actually had 5 of them. Holy moly! Carroll, Cedar Hill, Richardson, Hebron, and Coppell.
Some good
And it's the exact same district. It was just
13.
East, West, Plano, Boyd, and McKinney.
12 and 13 Coppell.
Yeah.
So
But and then the thing that is a concern, obviously, is the offensive line.
Yeah.
You know, I know we're missing 2 guys, crucial.
That's the opportunity to
crucial
learn. Yeah.
players. But you know what's good is these guys getting the time playing right now. It's
Those
only going to make them
underclassmen.
make them better. You know, they just need to learn, you know, some moves and finesse and work together on that line to push these guys off the ball, so where the running backs can find their holes and flourish.
Yeah, and offensive line, you know, when you talk about our blocking scheme is more of a pro scheme, you know, pocket type blocking, and it makes it a little bit more important that you move your guy out of the way instead of blowing him off the ball like a Trinity.
A lot of one-on-one.
Yeah.
Just an FYI here. Those 5 starters last night were all juniors on the offensive line. So,
Well, 3 of them are, and the 2 that
Prepare for next year.
we're missing
We're
right now are
in-
the only senior
Seniors, yeah.
starters.
And we're in no big hurry to get to next year
Yeah.
for when they're seniors, so let's
I just
live and learn.
Just looked
And
at
we've
it
seen
like,
differences in 1 year on
Oh yeah.
how big these guys can get. Good God.
Well, just to have the experience too.
Technique
Full experience,
and everything.
but also putting on a couple pounds of muscle and all that kind of good stuff doesn't hurt
Or
either.
convert some of that other
You know,
weight to
and,
muscle.
and one other
You
thing
know,
is
like I'm doing.
in the running game last night, like I said earlier, there wasn't any sweeps for the most part. Anything, you know, running from end to end, like we'd seen in previous games. It was all
They had
centered
some scrambles
right
and
up
bouncing out, but
right
yeah,
up the middle.
not design
part.
plays to go to the
And I
outside.
think that might have a little bit to do with the coaches knowing what their capabilities are from a lineman standpoint right now. I mean, if we had guys that were a little more agile, I guess you might possibly see
So
something.
the receivers are the same though, and you know they're what helps make those runs possible. They cut back in and block people that are headed that way. So.
Well, Plano's secondary did a little bit better job than some of the other teams we played in terms of keeping them locked up, our receivers, and forcing the quarterbacks to either force it in there or to overthrow. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many of those overthrows were safety overthrows as opposed to...
Or how many of them should have probably been picked off and weren't?
Oh, there's room for improvement on the quarterbacks,
but I mean, we
for
had a
sure.
lot of. I mean, our guys were getting behind them, but there were a lot of them. Like, I mean, they were right on their tail, basically.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
Cody?
I think we're seeing some new offensive plays that we haven't seen in previous years. RPOs. We're not seeing nearly as many screens.
Yeah.
We're still maybe not seeing as much across the middle of the field.
Saw a
type passing
couple last
stuff.
night.
Saw a
but-
few.
No, I want to see more. I like that.
I like that.
That little tunnel screen,
or
little
just on the slant, just a slant.
slant in the post, yeah.
Yeah, but I think
When there were a couple slants... Sorry, go ahead.
whatever it is, he seems to be more confident in his personnel. And it's not feeling pressure. So I think that's the up. And what could be improved? I mean, this is tough, and you guys just talked about so many different things. But I think offensively, it's a blessing and a curse. The blessing is like everybody's playing really, really well. I think what I'd like to see is who's going to step forward and be the number one who we can count on when we got to put points up.
Are you talking like receiver or running back? Or
Receiver, running back,
whoever.
quarterback. Who's the
Right.
superstar
Yeah.
going to be? And I think that's an open question at this point because I think they're really good. But there's not a guy that I'm looking who's head and shoulders better than everybody else.
Yeah, that's
It's
kind of good
almost
too.
well,
Everybody's
but it's. I think that
participating.
determining that depends on who we're playing and how they're scheming us. I guess is a lot of that, But to your point, Cody, I mean, you should see a pattern each game, and it may be this wide receiver against this opponent, and maybe this running back against this opponent. The wide receivers probably have a better chance at it just because it's a quarterback and a wide receiver. running back's got to rely on his offensive line a lot of times and so forth. And we saw a lot of plays last night where the running back was making
something out of nothing.
Making something out of nothing.
Yeah.
So,
we saw Brock Sturgis last week, I think it was.
Yeah.
Came and we
how
all saw
surprising
Thanks
was
for
that?
stopping by, brother. That was nice.
Didn't
to
even
see
look
you.
like him until you really looked at his face.
And he came to us.
But talking about a workhorse, I mean, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
he
guy
carried that
oh my
2017 game,
Yep.
state game, by his
yeah.
running. I mean, just
he
a
did.
bull running
Cody,
through the line.
I think it's a great point. When I think about that, like last year, Donnell was the guy they would always go to
Yep.
in crunch
Gee.
time. They'd look for Donnell, and he was kind of that alpha dog that give
That
you the ball.
guy has not really reared its head yet in
Yeah.
this season.
He's getting
Yeah,
there.
they have a lot of people that they can go to.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you saw like last week's game. Anything Jet did
Yeah, it was money.
was
It
out
was
of
money.
control. Earlier in the season, Carter had a couple. I think Josiah is gonna be that guy at some point in his career here at Allen. I think that's coming, but it's a very good point. Which one do you? It's crunch time. What player are you calling? Who are you going to?
Yeah, and other teams looking at tapes, everybody has had the hand in all
Yeah.
these games. So how do they prepare?
That's
Right.
You know,
That's the question.
how are they going to
Right.
prepare for us?
And I think
when anybody can do anything.
What Nolan said. Okay, how are they playing you?
Yeah.
Who is the one guy?
Right.
You want a double Jet? Fine, double Jet. That's going to leave Josiah and Carter.
Yeah.
And they have to be ready to
Yeah.
take that burden
Yeah.
when it's given to them.
It's a very good point. Good comment. James?
Yeah. So defense obviously is
Cut you off, not kidding.
the good aspect
All right,
of
moving on.
this whole thing.
Turn his mic off.
Yeah, defense is the highlight of this whole thing, and we've got so many different players. How do you scheme against them? So the areas for improvement, I see it as being a little bit more touch on the quarterback's standpoint. One of the things that I would love to see the offense do is tend towards the center of the field, because one side or the other, the safeties were not going to be able to cover. And so instead of throwing the passes and tending to go, outside the field of play, which they did a fair amount, move the receivers on the inside on a little post route, whatever, downfield, and that gives them the chance to move in toward the ball. And I think it's a higher percentage completion by doing that. That's something I'd like to see them do. I'm really happy with the screens or the slants that they've been doing. There were a couple little areas where touch passes went off, and it needed to be more of a touch pass instead of a bullet. And so that's the area in the quarterback play that I'd like to see them get a little bit more versatile at, a little bit more adept at throwing those touch passes, a little more arc on the ball sometimes. But it's tough. They can't be perfect every time.
And they won't be.
Yeah.
They're 15 to 17, 18-year-old kids.
Exactly.
We know they're not.
That's no excuse.
I know. Just like we are. I've juggled a couple things in my brain just listening to y'all talk, but I've been very happy with the defense. I think we all just do. I've been very happy with the coaching staff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they've and it's one of the things that Hargis said to me yesterday when we were talking. He goes, everything we call works. Well, it works, one, because you make the right call, and two, you've put your kids in a position to succeed.
Yeah.
And I think, like he said, the continuity of a coaching staff, for the most part, when you look at everybody who's here, has been here for, at least 2, if not 3 years. They got a couple new guys this year, but I think the coaching staff has done a very good job of getting these kids understand and perform in a system that they have. And I want to give them kudos for that, because that's, you can have a coaching staff there for 10 years, but it may not be a good coaching staff.
Right.
And bad things happen, To me, this is a pretty good coaching staff, if not a very good coaching staff, and they've got the kids right where they need to be able to perform at a level that you just go, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
I really think they need, because I think later in the season, especially when you get in the playoffs, you're going to have you may have a game where you're up by 3 with 4 minutes left, and you want to run that clock. And relying on the pass to run a clock is not a good way to do it. I really think they need to get that running game where it's consistently 4, 5, 6 yards a pop, and it looks good when it happens. It's not just now. Some of that may, by natural progression of these guys being together for more than 3 weeks and working together, they're able to do that. If the 2 seniors get back, get them back in the mix and the fold, and that'll add a little bit, because they were starters. It's not like they weren't people sitting on the bench. They were starters for a reason. That may help that as well. But I'd like to see that running game, because I think at some point you're going to need it just to close out something.
Yeah.
Because I'd hate to lose a game because, God forbid you throw 3 incomplete passes and
You're
give
forced, yeah.
North Crowley the ball with 3 minutes left and you're up by 3.
When it's the proverbial mix-up, do you open up the running game with your passing? Do you open up the passing game with your runs?
Yeah, I just want it to be more consistent. I've thought that all 3 weeks. It hasn't looked like it did last year, and Spriggs had the long run last year, but last year you could count on Mackay.
Yeah. Well, I really want to see him
a 30, 40, 50-yard run.
I really want to see him lean on Carter more, and give him more opportunities, which is good routes that move into the inside, because with his speed and his height, dominating.
Well, and again, you go back to, that's one of the problems, one of the curses of having 4 really good receivers. When you look at Josiah and Carter and Caleb, and LeBron's playing out there, and then the backs are good receivers. Who do you throw to? You throw to the open man, but they're going to spread it around. For the most part.
But your play calling, you're always going to have your progression.
Sure.
And so, who's your first progression? Who's your second? I'd be curious to see some of the stats of how often does the first go to end up being open, and how often is he going to the second and third?
Yeah, I'm going to say this, and maybe it's just me, and again, this is nothing against JD. JD's come in and done a great job. He's made himself a leader. We coached him on 7-on-7. In fact, when they named him Offensive Player of the Week last week, I said, that 7-on-7 BEBC coaching did a lot of good, didn't it? He got a kick out of that. But I really would like to see Ty Snell get more snaps. And that's one, I think he's very talented just from the limited number of times we've seen him. And for him to get the opportunity to know, okay, this is my game, I'm going to be the guy.
Right.
As opposed to, okay, I'll go in when they tell me to go in. I think that's going to build a lot of confidence, not only for him, but for the team. God forbid JD gets hurt, or he has a bad game where he's not doing well, and
he's going to have to be the man.
Yeah, he's got to be the guy to step up. And I think there's a lot of talent there. Again, I'm not criticizing the coach. They know a lot more than we do, but I think I would love to see him play more.
Well, an obvious comparison is when Kyler came in, and he was not the starter for the first 5 games.
Yeah.
It kind of worked out. Now, JD is doing really well. Jeremiah Dowd is doing really well in terms of his first part of the season.
Yep.
So there's not that need to put Ty in,
sure,
and have him be the man yet.
No.
But like you said, I'd be curious to know if are there like 1 or 2 things that they're working on with him in each game, or is it everything all at once?
Well, and again, I look at like next week as a week where, okay, you can play Ty the whole game and you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now, would that hurt JD's feelings? Probably. But you know what? If he understood in the grand scheme of things why we're doing this,
oh, yeah,
be a team player and suck it up. But again, that's just me.
Yeah, I don't see him losing his starter position at all.
That's just how I roll.
What a great position to be in, where we're having to imagine bad scenarios, like we're only up 3 and we've got to run out the clock, or like somebody gets hurt, or like we're having to it's come up.
We got to fill the time some.
No, what I'm saying is, like, we're in such a strong position as a team where we're having to come up with these hypothetical things that we haven't
like
even
some
seen.
vaudeville act. What if?
Yeah.
Offensive player of the game, we decided on Lyndon Spriggs. Had 2 touchdowns, 136 yards. Defense, we're giving it to Beckham Parker, who set
Great
the tone
game.
early.
Way to go, number 24.
Was everywhere.
Rocking
Dude,
it.
he was in there.
Whole life in the backfield last night. He was just back and talking trash to the big guys. We're 76 and him had a conversation all that long. It was so great.
Hey,
And then we'll give the special teams to Ethan Nava for his. He finally got activity on
His
on the punt
puntsmanship.
team. Yeah, did a great night. So congratulations to you 3. We'll give you your magnets next week. They'll be on your locker for you. Next week, 7 o'clock at the Stadium. It's McKinney coming to town, and it'll be interesting to see how JD handles going up against his old buddies up there at McKinney.
Yeah.
See how much trash he talks to them.
Or how many booze he gets when those
From the 7 fans that show up from McKinney. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Anything else, fellas? No, we're all
just
good.
looking forward to it. Well, I mean, we didn't talk about a bunch of the district and stuff.
There's a reason.
Well,
we went through all
not
the sports.
not our district. Did we talk about Duncanville and our friends down at Forney that kind of cleaned the clock of Fort Worth Boswell, 75-20.
Way to go, Fleen.
Yeah, way to go, man. And let's see, Rockwall defeated North Crowley 37-35.
And that
Kinda
Rockwall
takes the
team,
shine off of it.
powerhouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, that's one thing. Again, we can look forward to coaches, and they do, whether they admit it or not. They've got people looking. You know,
yeah.
Crowley gave up 600 yards. North Crowley gave up 600 yards of offense to Rockwall. And you're like, okay, that's not the same team.
Rockwell's not that good.
Well,
but
and
North
that's-
Crowley's not that good either.
That's not the
They only
same.
recruited 35 new kids.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's taken them
Really?
a while to get it together because that's a lot. You know, 600 yards, unbelievable. You know,
And then
you
Anna-
deserve to lose if you do that.
And then Anna throttles Lovejoy. Poor Lovejoy.
Ugh.
They lost power.
Yeah.
I guess that means they're going to start charging us more money for taxes, huh?
Great.
Gosh.
Well, I don't pay Lovejoy taxes, so I'm okay.
And then Highland Park basically takes a whooping onto Pulaski, our friends at Pulaski Academy.
Pulaski.
Not the same coach, but, you know,
It's Pulaski.
I'm sure they were weeping,
For those of you who remember the 7-on-7 days up in Arkansas.
wiping their eyes with $100 bills.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stuff like that. So it was a great night of football. Got a great day of college football today.
Love you guys, Arkansas.
Speak for yourself. But anyhow,
I like them.
I know you do. It's time to cut this done.
Hey, Saturdays for the boys.
Yeah, so we appreciate y'all listening. For those of you who want to subscribe, you could do either Spotify or YouTube. Spotify will drop today.
Hit that follow, ring that bell.
Yeah, YouTube will drop probably tomorrow. We'll see.
Ooh,
And
I do want to say one more thing.
Of course.
No. At home games, I've had a couple younger kids who obviously were on JV. They had talked to us, and they'd come up to me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Fist bump. You know, we talked to you guys, and it makes some kind of impression. Tell us your name. Don't hesitate to come up to us. Be bold.
Yep.
The world, the winners win because they're bold and they're out there. So put yourself out there, kids.
We won't bite.
No,
Promise.
we love the
Daddy
interaction.
James tells you to.
We
We
may
love
give
the
you a
interaction.
shout out. So there.
Yeah,
You know, there's nothing wrong with
because
that.
if you don't tell us your name, we can't shout you out.
That's right. Hey.
My bad. I did it again.
Want to say again, thanks to Chief Jonathan Boyd last week for a great podcast. Got a lot of great feedback on that.
Dude, that was so much fun.
Invited him this week, but he's out playing golf in the mountains of another state right now. So, you know, tough life he's got.
Mountains, it must be Louisiana.
Not Arizona. Yeah.
The mountains of Louisiana. So anyhow, folks, thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
Man, oh man.
Can't play out there.